I'm Marc Pandi. Welcome to Nation Branding. Once again, tonight on our edition we'll talk about revamping Africa's image. John Soule, the author of The End of Globalization, once wrote, "Countries don't spend much time thinking about each other, unless, of course, they have a serious disagreement or want something, oil, for example." Well, this view is accurate insofar as countries have interests to protect, and only when those interests are at risk do we notice public diplomacy working. In Africa, there are lots of minerals, and the rest of the world needs them. Selling these minerals necessitates a review of a relationship with others. At first glance, we often think that the only thing the outside world is interested in is our natural resources. But we later discover that we have more to offer than we think we do. Our sun, our cultures, our people, our sports, our products, etc. Which means that the other countries spend perhaps more time than we think thinking about what we can offer them as well as what we have. But why do we seldom see them promote what we have on television except the disagreement and trouble we have? That's because it's easier to talk about someone in trouble than to talk about the good thing about the person. Africans, therefore, must learn to communicate better what they think they have to offer the world. So, how can Africans learn to discuss the problem more effectively and communicate better what we have at the international stage? This question, in my view, cannot be oversimplified simply because media experts have built their careers on these questions, and the answer depends on which side of the table you're standing or located, on the African side or the Western side. If you're on the African side, what you will hear is that African governments have a monopoly over the media. Therefore, media censorship affects communication. Media hegemony also means that only those with the ability to disseminate their point of view get to be heard. If you're on the Western side, what you will hear is that African governments must deregulate their markets to be more competitive. They must produce better training facilities as well as improve on the infrastructure so that they can have better quality reporting. Thus, we have seen at the international conferences today called Media and Development. But we will not waste time discussing how it is we can improve the media, because that is a question I think that's worthy of its own discussion. Since colonial era, the development narrative of Africa has served to depict Africa as poor and often in trouble. This view has sold movies, newscasts, as well as helped raise funds. But it did so at a great disservice to Africa and its people. The images did hurt Africa, and still do today. Albert Sevorje perspectively called it winning the war against humiliation in his report to the Independent Commission on Africa and the challenges of the third millennium. Contemporary Africa is portrayed today as malnourished, poverty-stricken, desperately in need for help. Therefore, justifies any intervention as necessary. Reclaiming our full reputation or image is the first step. It can be done by managing the bad things happening in our country or to our people, for they're drowning Africa's reputation, and people can't help but think that everything in the continent is falling apart. We need to stop running for help every time we have problems in our own home before exploring ways to put off the fire first by ourselves. When it comes to communicating better, to the world. Our people's pride, our place's heritage, giving people an accurate sense of who we are is crucial, and a responsibility that we must take ownership. Currently, we are doing a terrible job promoting ourselves to the world. At best, we have South Africa host the 2010 World Cup, but with many risks for the killings and attacks of foreigners, which many think makes people perceive South Africans as unfriendly and xenophobic. South Africans blame foreigners for taking away their jobs and responsible for the high level of crime in the country. These socio-economic problems exist everywhere, but nations with sophisticated brand image have learned how to manage these problems. So South Africa may perhaps tackle these issues a little differently than it has in the past. But it must be said that South Africa, because of its reputation, has earned the right to host the 2010 World Cup, which is Africa's favorite sport. But the World Cup, Africa's image when it comes to sport is still poorly reflected. We have not done a good job promoting talent in our continent. Most of our best talent only dream about making it big abroad. It is as if they receive their initial taste of stardom abroad, whereas often they receive them in the remote villages of Africa. From Makana Key to Roger Mila to Samuel Eto'o, all from Cameroon, for example, these talents can help promote the continent better at the international stage and communicate our pride, places of heritage, and products better than we can imagine. But we have neglected to put them to the service of their country, and I think that's a great waste. But every country needs to position itself strategically if it wishes to be competitive at the international stage today. Cameroon is trying to do so through sport. South Africa with trade and sport. What about the rest? What can they sell themselves to the world as? People are looking for different things to sell and buy. Making a country stand out today will avoid undermining the reputation of that country at the international stage and encourage people to remember what it is and what it isn't. This is how a country can make progress and how people can become known to others. In conclusion, in its present form, Africa needs to revamp its image. The future potential of Africa lies in its children's ability to project their continent as sophisticated, competent, sincere, honest, exciting place to be. If properly done, Western countries will see Africa branded as a knowledgeable continent, and its people as having the right attitudes and sound knowledge and the right goals. They can further advance their impoverished countries' efforts on the right path, which can lead to progress. Thank you for joining me tonight on Nation Branding, and please join me next time. I'm Marc.